Well, hello everybody. It's Marty Smith here for PokerCalculatorReport.com. Just running through a sit and go here. Of course, I'm using my tournament indicator and progressing nicely until, let's say, we get about well, 4 or 5 people left here. At a stage like this in sit and go tournaments, you really have to get more aggressive. Now, as you can see, I have quite a nice chip lead here. I have 8,600. This player is 1,400, 1,800, and 1,100 over here. So really, when there's 4 people in, you want to get a over aggressive, I would say, because one of these players is not going to make the money, and of course, they all want to make the money. So your job is to steal as many blinds as you can here. So anything decent, you really got to be pushing. And here's an example where I have 10-9 on the blind, on the button, 2 shorter stacks, but I do get called by ace king. Not a bad situation, but he flops an ace, so I need a straight. Oh, I got 2 pair here. Okay, so I actually knocked him out. Like I said, those cards were live. He only had like 1,200 to call, so that's no problem. Your opponent is actually more likely to fold rather than call, but at least you have live cards when he calls. So now I'm in a spot here where 2 shorter stacks, and yeah, I got to get more aggressive. I still got to keep my aggression up. And the thing is that when you do start playing like this, yeah, you're going to look silly sometimes. You're going to get busted sometimes, but when you exert that kind of pressure with these kind of when the blinds and every pot is like 600, just to have a look at your hole cards, then you got to be pushing a small stack because if he's down, as you see in the tournament indicator, if he's down to the orange gem zone, you got to be pushing him. There's nothing wrong with that. Now I have him outstacked more than 2 to 1. I have 9,000. He has 4,000. I have king jack. I'm going to push with this, but I don't even have to. I just have to call. Okay. That's a great situation to be in, and I take that tournament down. Now, even though that's a tournament one, what you like to do, or what I like to do actually, is analyze your game afterwards. And a great program to do that is Sit and Go Wiz. Sit and Go Wiz has a feature where you can pull up the tournament that you've just played, and it will indicate any hands that they said some critical hands, I should say, that they've said you've done the right thing, or maybe you haven't. Maybe you've goofed up a little here. I'll show you here where Sit and Go actually, okay, see all these yellow ones? Well, those are cautionary moves. In other words, they're not saying I'm right, they're not saying I'm wrong, but it might be a cautious philosophy there in maybe risking too much or pushing too much or getting involved in a hand that I shouldn't have been in. But as a big stack, as you saw, I was, really trying to steal a lot of blinds. So it really wasn't. I have a lot of these yield signs here because I really wasn't paying attention to my hand as much as I was the situation. Nonetheless, Sit and Go Wiz will indicate these hands that they question your move. And the ones that they really question actually are the ones they're saying that are outright errors. So here's a X and here's an X, which is what they're marked on them. And I can show you that both X's came on 2 really weak holdings, 5-2 offsuit and 7-2 offsuit, both of which I folded, both of which they are saying that I should have pushed, not called, not folded. I should have pushed with those hands based on the fact that, over a long period of time, if I push in those situations, I'm going to get my opponents to fold most of the time and thus making it a positive equity play. This is what Sit and Go Wiz does. And yeah, 7 deuce and 5 deuce, if that doesn't make you think a little bit different, I don't know what will, because to me, those are, automatic falls. But you got to delve into the hands. And once you see some of these indicators that Sit and Go Wiz puts on a hand, then you can actually find it and go analyze your own play. So they're saying I should have folded here, and I actually think that I called. I can't really remember, but anyway, you can go back and you will actually see the variance in saying that, okay, my opponents had this much, I had this much. They're giving you the blind information. percentage edge that I have, and the types of hands that I might get called with. Now, the types of hands that I might get called with and how they stack up against my 7-5 offsuit are how they come to these push or fold recommendations. Okay, I'm going to show you a bit more features about the Sit and Go Wiz that could really help analyze your Sit and Go tournament play as well. All right, so here's the Sit and Go Wiz main window. All you have to do really is find a tournament that you want to analyze, and they are in the tournament folders or certain uh, poker client folders that they have set up for the more popular sites. But if you're not in one of those, you just go to the tournament folder and it'll show a bunch of tournaments. Here I picked, I opened a folder, it brought me to one, but you can pick any other ones by this window up here. But we can always just take a peek at one of the controversial hands. Here's one, 9-7. I had 9-7. Okay, so let's take a peek at this. They're saying fold. I made an error because apparently I was supposed to push here. The pot was 480. Apparently they're saying that because there was a limp here and there's only one big blind, I should have actually pushed here. I have 2,000 in chips left. There's, I guess maybe there's enough folding equity, and even if I get called, again, I'd be looking at having some live cards, wouldn't be too far behind, maybe a couple of overs. And you can't really put that guy on a pair. So anyway, you can analyze these situations hand after hand after hand. And again, the ideal is to make you think differently. Another thing with Sit and Go Wizard, you don't really have to put any money on the line to actually get better at this, because you can actually um, uh, make your own quiz. And that's great because you can run through a series of questions just by starting on your own quiz setup by making such parameters. It's 6-seated, is it 9-seated, is it tough game, is it no limit, um, what kind of opponents you have. So you can set up these scenarios, and then hand after hand these questions are thrown at you, and you have to decide if you are going to push, fold, or quit. And a continuous score keeps posting itself in that how many questions you've gotten correct or not. Again, a lot of the scenarios are for the latter stages of a sit and go tournament when the blinds have escalated enough, or when you might have a stack advantage or disadvantage. And those factor into your strategy as well. And you're just going to get better and better at this because this will throw out hundreds of questions at you. And when you're wrong, you're going to go back and say, yeah, I think I think I know why they were saying I was wrong here. This is the way the pros think. This is the way the pros fix their game, find leaks in their game, and get better. And over the long haul, you know, you may get called when you're holding 4-4 or 7-5 and lose. But the idea is that Sit and Go Wiz has analyzed these situations and these hands mathematically using poker science to basically teach the user that over the long haul you are going to make money making this move. So anyway, highly recommended program, Sit and Go Wizard. Um, the full review, done by two people actually, is on my site at pokercalculatorreport.com. Very worthwhile software to check out, and I recommend that you do. Okay then, Smarty Smith for Sit and Go Wizard at pokercalculatorreport.com. Take care.